morning, Millennials.
Good morning, Millennials.
Welcome back to the Morning Toast. Today is Monday, July something, and I'm Claudia.
And I'm Jackie.
And the last we spoke about it, I was going to see that apartment that I sent you 2 videos of, remember?
Yes.
And that was it, and that was not it. It was just you know when you want something to be it so bad that you are blind?
That you'll compromise.
Right, and I was like...
You have it goggles.
I thought it was so great, and then I realized it's so expensive and it's not even what I want, and I'm like... So I decided to be smart and say no, even though I was ready to sign. I came with a deposit.
But I feel like for you, you feel like you're in such a rush, but technically you're on track.
Yes,
you have a month.
I have a month.
Things are good. The market is good.
The market is good.
It's a good time-ish to be moving.
But this is just the hottest time to be moving because people are graduating from school and getting apartments, and it's the most expensive time. So if you're not on Street Easy every day, you're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
But I found another apartment.
Thanks to an amazing sister.
Thanks to an amazing sister.
Who did an amazing favor.
I saw this apartment and I was I saw it on Thursday and I left for Phoenix Friday and I was I cannot not see this apartment. It has
saw it on your phone.
Yeah, on my phone. It has a walk-in closet. So I made an appointment and Jackie went for me, which was so nice. And she sent me the most descriptive, detailed video. It was just when I saw it in person yesterday, it was I had already seen it.
Right.
Because you really did such a good job with the video.
Thank you.
And it's a dog-friendly building and it's perfect. It's a co-op, so we do have to get approved, which is a little bit of a process, but I don't know who wouldn't want me living in their apartment. I'm so clean. I'm a family. You're
a family gal.
I'm an ideal tenant.
And you guys are a young, vibrant couple. You're only going up from here.
We'll bring a lot of life to the building.
You will, and I feel like you could be there for a long time if things go well.
It's definitely an older building in terms of the people who live there, but
you're
I love that.
You're an older woman.
I love that. I live in a building now with teens.
You're an older woman. Look at your shoes.
Loafers. I wore these yesterday. And when I went to the building, me and Ben were very buttoned up, because it's a co-op. It reminded me of Sex and the City when the doctor, what was his name? Robert. Miranda, she's on her co-op board and Robert comes. And I was I wish Miranda was on my co-op board. She would totally accept me.
And another reason why Miranda is the worst is because she dumped Robert, who was the greatest guy.
So I finished Sex and the City
Thank God.
last week, and I was so happy to be done with it because really towards the end, you really get over Carrie and Petrovsky. He is the worst thing that ever happened to her, and honestly, they were perfect for each other.
She deserved him. She deserved to move to Paris. She deserves to step in dog shit.
Yeah.
She deserved to fall on the floor in Dior.
People are always Big or Aiden. I'm no, Petrovsky. They were perfect for each other. They both had this non-committal life where they didn't really have real jobs, but they had enough money to live.
They both made bad jokes.
Yeah. They were both, and they looked alike.
They really did.
They were perfect for each other. And when Big comes and picks her up, it's mad cute, but she did not deserve him.
No, she did not deserve him.
At all. So I was just finishing, and then Miranda, it's interesting how much they cut out on E.
And they cut out the good stuff, because it's the extra jokes that the storyline doesn't need, but it's that's why we watch the show.
Right, so every episode I've ever seen was pretty much on E, and then watching it on, where did we watch it? On Amazon, it was the full episode. So there's 5 or 10 minutes that you miss. When her and Robert confront each other in the staircase of their building, that wasn't on E.
Right, and so you don't know that Robert is actually
bitter.
Kind of mean. Yeah.
Right, but in the episode they make it seem like he moved on so quickly.
Right.
There's a lot missing on E.
No.
Just saying.
I agree, but don't go through the trouble of watching the whole thing because it's so aggravating.
And it's
remember when we were watching in Nashville and we were literally we were on season 5. We were the burger episodes. It was the worst episodes. We're screaming from our beds through my fish fillet at the TV.
We were so annoyed. And you know what? The more I watch as an adult who is a rational person, logical, the more I think Big was this bad guy who played with her. He was very upfront from the beginning. I'm not really interested in loving you. If that's a problem, peace.
And the more I watch, the more I realize that Carrie is unsufferable and unsympathetic. She makes terrible choices. And the same is true for when you rewatch Gossip Girl. Serena is one of the worst characters of all time, never makes a good choice in her life, and we're supposed to feel sorry for her because she's pretty. That's truly the only thing she has going for her. And Blair is the real MVP. She works so hard for it all to be taken away one day just because she got a little petty.
I didn't never rewatch Gossip Girl because I don't think that I could take it.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
Even while I was watching it and everyone loves Serena, I was this girl is nuts. She makes horrible choices, and I don't feel sorry for her. She makes her bed and now she has to sleep in it. She just thinks things are going to go better for her because she's so
Speaking
pretty.
of Serena, did you see the video of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively at the Taylor Swift concert? It was so cute. Basically, they went to the Taylor Swift concert, and in her song Gorgeous, it starts with a baby saying the word gorgeous, and the baby is their kid. So they knew the song was coming, and they were recording it, and they were so excited, screaming. It was literally the cutest video of all time.
It was was really cute, but watched through another lens, it's also the reaction you have when you're let out of your cage for
Right, so what I was going to say, it was like, I was happy for her, but then I know that when she goes home, she has to go back under the trundle.
I have to be honest, seeing them more and more now and watching that video is starting to chip away at the theory that she lives in a cage.
So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we just have this theory that like Ryan Reynolds is like the most controlling husband and like doesn't let Blake Lively work unless he's like unless he literally wrote the script. Like he's like so controlling.
I think because I read one time that was like he was telling her what to have for lunch.
And by the way, I didn't even read it. I'm pretty sure Olivia told me about it.
No, but it was the blind wasn't that she lives in a cage. It's that like Ryan Reynolds was being controlling about a script that Blake Lively could do. So it wasn't like so extreme, but now
I just see it through the lens of like her being a prisoner of her husband. But I agree. I'm starting to see a new side of them.
Yeah.
I like being wrong. I would love to be wrong.
And I feel like now that she's a mom, like that really takes up so much of her time. And it's like, how can he control her when she has mothering duties?
There's not enough time in the day when you're a mom to be controlled by someone else.
Right.
I'm so hungry. Like my stomach just dropped.
I'm sorry.
Also, we both look so like blasé today.
I mean, it's because we have
such a busy day. We have like the most corporate day.
We do. Well, we're recording a very special podcast after this.
With Mercedes Javid, who is literally like, I'm obsessed with her. MJ from Shaw's of Sunset. We're going to go to her hotel room. We're going to do a podcast only because she couldn't make the live show, but she still wanted to come on. So we're going to do just like a fun Q&A.
I'm excited for podcast only. I feel like those are such good episodes.
Because you can put your hair up.
You're comfortable. You don't have to worry about like what you look like. Mm-hmm. When Dana and I filmed our podcast for Patreon, she's like never done a podcast. She's just a regular girl, you know?
It's just so funny when like regular folk do a podcast. They don't even know the intricacies.
Right, she came over and she was like, so do we just record this on your phone? I was like, no, I have equipment. I like got her all mic'd up.
Right.
And she was really great. And it's funny because she has a really manly voice for someone who's like so small and girly. Well, small. And she really was great. We had such a good time taking a trip down memory lane and reliving all of our old stories. Like we tell these stories that we have just to each other and it's getting kind of sad, but now having this platform where we could share it with the masses, it was perfect for us and our friendship really needed it.
And I heard really good things about it. Speaking to the masses, I went to Phoenix and I have so many thoughts.
Tell us, sister.
Do you know that Phoenix is like just as far as LA? It was 5 hours.
I did not know that.
And you don't get a lay flatbed, which is just an abomination. But I'll talk to someone about that later.
Phoenix is as far as like Dallas in my mind.
No, it's like it's the West.
Yeah.
So I thought I was in the Midwest, but no, it's just West.
And you are on Pacific time. I didn't realize that. I thought you'd be on Central time.
Me neither. I had a 24-hour day.
That's crazy.
Because I woke up I flew to Phoenix the same day as my show. So I woke up at 5 a.m, did my show. My show was late at 10 o'clock, and I ended up going to bed at 2 a.m. Pacific time, which is 5 a.m. New York time. So I was up for 24 hours, and I didn't nap.
Wow.
I was just a real pleasure to be around.
How did it go? The Phoenix Toasters looked lit as hell that pregame.
The Phoenix Toasters. It's just so funny. You really never know what to expect from a town because you don't know, like, we're not really in tune with like the demographics of our show so well.
Some of them, but I'm going to be honest, Phoenix I'm not so in tune with.
Right. And so there's always like a small community when we go to a different city. You just never know how busty it's going to be. And there was a pregame hosted at this girl's house, who, by the way, I recognized her house, and I know why. She put her whole renovation in the HG Steenby Facebook group, and her house is so cute. And her boyfriend or husband hosted a pregame for the show, and literally 100 people showed up. It looked so fun. They had a bartender. It was open bar, and I wanted to go, but I had sound check. But I didn't want to I wanted them to know that I like knew about it.
Yeah.
So I ordered pizza. First of all, how much do you think 3 pies of pizza costs?
Well, it's tough because in New York, like we never buy a pizza.
It's just like $1 slice.
When I went to get pizza for your birthday, I took $40 with me for 2 boxes, and as I was sitting there and they're making it, I was like, wait, how much is this going to cost? I didn't have anything else.
Right.
And it was $40.
Oh, wow.
For 2 boxes of New York pizza.
So 3 boxes of Arizona pizza. But the place was called NYPD, New York Pizza Department.
Oh, so it's New York pizza.
In Phoenix.
Okay, $35?
70.
What?
Check it. And I had to call 100 places to get them to deliver. Like, it was so difficult. And then I finally found a place, and they're like, okay, $70. I'm like, 17? They're like, 70. I'm like, what?
That's crazy. Why didn't you call Domino's?
Because I wanted them to actually eat it. And then,
Domino's is really good.
And then a lot of the girls told me that the pizza was bad, so.
You should have called Domino's because they have all those deals on the TV.
But Domino's is like literally disgusting.
No, it's not. It's really not. It just smells bad.
I have lived on the same block as a Domino's for 2 years, and I have been once. I was desperate.
I think you would actually really like the pizza.
I'm a thin crust gal.
Domino's
I'm a real cheese gal.
And those Cena sticks?
No, they have other good stuff. Ben, remember we went once, we were so hungry and drunk, literally for 2 pieces of pizza, it must have taken over an hour.
Because they don't do pizza by the slice.
We were sitting in Domino's like...
No, because they only do pies, which is why for Phoenix, it wouldn't be the worst idea.
I thought it looked good. I thought everyone was just complaining for no reason. But this girl, Caroline...
At Colgate, because there's like nothing there, like a night on the town is like going to Domino's, like ordering Domino's. So like, I only think of it so fondly and high end, you know?
Okay. Well, you have a skewed vision because Domino's is trash. What was I saying? Oh, so she hosted a pregame in her house. It looked so fun. They all like were drinking from 6 to 9. The show started at 10. I didn't know before I went on that where I played is the biggest comedy club in America.
What?
Because most comedy clubs are like 250 to 300 people. This was 550.
What's it called?
Stand Up Live. And it's the same franchise I'm doing in Palm Beach, which is they're the same size.
That's amazing.
I know, it was really
so
great.
you're amongst the biggest comics in America.
And I met Michael Yo. Do you know who that is?
It sounds familiar.
If you see his face, he's so familiar. He's been on a bunch of E! shows. He was definitely on Chelsea lately. He is like a real comic, and he did the show before me. So like when we were in the dressing room, we like passed by one another. It was just like
rubbing
comic
elbows.
to comic. Yeah. You know, us comics, it's a very small circle. But the show was great. Yeah. And it was nice because usually I leave the night of the show, but because the show was at 10, usually it's like at 7. I wasn't like in a rush, so the meet and greet must have been 3 hours long because I was just talking to everyone. Like I was in no rush. Like I didn't have anything. I was just like going to bed, so I was like just talking to everyone and relaxing. It was just great.
Any good meet and greet stories? Any memorable characters?
No, actually. Like the thing is, it's so funny because when I go to these shows, like the people who work at these venues are used to like comedy fans, like normal people who have like a drink or two. They're not used to the toasters who show up blackout drunk. They show up already blackout, and then they have to meet the 2-drink minimum, so they just keep going, and they're like not used to it. Like these bodyguards who are like literally 400 pounds, they're like, man, I never seen anything like that. I'm like, I know. I tried to warn you.
That's crazy. Your shows make me excited and scared for Camp Toast.
Same. They make me excited because it's going to be a good time. They make me scared because like liability.
And it's like they are going to out-train. Like I can't keep up with that.
No, me neither. But that's what I was talking to a lot of the girls at the meet and greet. Like Camp Toast is like, it's obviously going to be fun, ragey, but like I'm really looking to have like a wholesome time.
And like to do a lot of activities. I want to go the distance. I don't want to just like black out for 3 hours and fall asleep and then wake up and it's over.
Yeah.
And be hungover. Yeah, no, I want to sip a wine and have a nice buzz the whole time while also doing the ropes course.
Preach it. Preach
in a harness because safety first.
Safety first.
I have to do the ropes course, especially after OC. We should recreate the
totally.
OC ropes
like
course.
A video.
You guys, there's an amazing ropes course at this camp, and it's going to be so fun.
But because we have such a busy day of Businesswoman Special, we need to jump into the Fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast. We added a sound effect. We can't hear it, but you guys can, and I'm really excited about it. Did it work? Yay!
Okay, first up, this is news that came out on Friday, and I just feel like we have to talk about it because we need to shit all over it.
Okay.
Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra are engaged after 2 months of dating.
Yeah, whatever. Good for them.
I hope that none of you out there actually believe this news.
This is what I was saying the other day. It's like, it's so funny that we live in a world where like, there are some people who really think Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra are like madly in love.
No, totally. I was in a car full of people on the way to Old Westbury this weekend, and we were talking about this very thing, and like everyone was offering their own explanations up, and one that I heard, which, you know, I appreciate the creativity, is that they're clearly dating, and that he sped up the engagement to take the light off of Demi so people would focus on something else. I'm like, no, people can focus on two things, like we're in the car talking about all of it.
Right. There's such a flawed theory, and I appreciate the effort, but
it's a flawed theory.
They're not even on good terms, Nick and Demi.
Really?
Yeah. That was I
feel like even if they fight, they're like family. It's like when something big like this happens, they'll be there for each other.
Agreed.
But it's a flawed theory because it makes you assume that this is a real relationship when it's not.
Right. No, it's definitely not. I just think it's funny how they think we're so dumb, you know?
Totally.
And what we were watching before our show on Thursday was so funny. That little, I don't know what it is. It's like, it's a digital show. What is it?
It's a digital series on E's Instagram, and I think it's also on YouTube where it's a little longer, but it's Necessary Realness
with Morgan Stewart, and it's always really funny because she's great and she's like very like us, like quippy. But she did one on...
And it's edited really well. So it's like she's funny, and then they make her even funnier.
They did a segment on Nick and Priyanka, and it's so funny.
And it's right before they got engaged, and she was like, yeah, I'm not buying it. But she can't really say that as much as we can. Yeah, no, that's what I feel like is probably difficult about being, like talking about celebrities or talking about Bravo shows, but then also being on Bravo or on E! It's like you're limited in what you can say. Right, but I think, you know, I would pay that price to be on Bravo or we're not complaining, don't worry. We'll take a Bravo show. And speaking of Bravo, we have double confirmation now that Andy Cohen knows about the toast. Dana ran into him at a restaurant last night. I'm so happy that she
In real time, she texted us. Okay, basically, one of our Toaster listeners said she met Andy Cohen
on Thursday.
On Thursday, I watched Happens Live, and she had the balls to be like, by the way, you should watch and go on the Morning Toast. It's a great show. And he's like, oh, someone told me about that show last week.
This morning,
this morning. And we were like, what? Andy Cohen knows about the toast? Hello. Then our friend Dana was at Morandi last night, which I know is an Andy Cohen hotspot because he writes about it, in his books all the time. And she said...
First, she sent us a picture of her and Andy. And by the way, they look like old chums. I'm like, are you
They both have a lazy eye, that's why.
Family dinner
They
with
look
Andy?
related.
They really do.
Because in their picture,
they look
they're
like
both,
they've each drank the exact same amount of alcohol.
They're both cheesing really hard to one side, and Dana has a lazy eye in pictures, and so does Andy. He talks about it in his book. So they're both like... And they look like twins.
They really do. So I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are the best of friends. Asked him if he knows about the Morning Toast. I gave her all the bullet points. Millennial Morning Show, social media morning show.
We gave her our one sheet.
Right, gave her the one sheet, and she mustered up the courage and was like, have you heard of the Morning Toast? And he was like, yes, I just heard about it last week.
So I just feel like if we keep...
His story is straight.
Yeah.
You know?
If we keep inundating him with it, like if anyone were to like run into Andy or just like see him on the street and be like, by the way, you should watch the Morning Toast. We don't even want him as a guest. Like we need him to develop the shit out of this show.
Totally. So your mission as Toasters is anytime you see Andy Cohen, just mention the Morning Toast so that he thinks...
That way he thinks it's the most popular show,
right.
which it is.
Which it is, but we need to get on his radar.
Yeah.
So.
And we're already there. We're a blimp now. Blip. Oh, we're a blip. We need to become a blimp.
Totally. Okay, so those are our thoughts on Nick and Priyanka. Like, don't fall for it. Even if they get married, white picket fence.
You know what's so funny?
A boy and a girl, like, they're still faking it.
Is that every news outlet had to use the same picture of them from the Met Gala to announce their engagement because they've literally been together for a week. They have like 4 pictures together, and like this is the only one.
Right. It's a good one though. She looks great, but they just look so silly together.
She looks great, but she looks like Carmen Sandiego in that trench coat, like solving a crime. Or she looks like Harriet the Spy.
No, but it's cool.
No, it's glamorous. It's a glamorous Harriet the Spy, but she's still Harriet the Spy.
It looks like a picture like that you cut 2 people and you pasted them together.
Like from Parent Trap when they rip the...
Right, but it's like as if you put her with Meredith Blake in that picture.
Totally.
Did you see that video?
Yes, I did. Okay, so honestly, even though E! News steals a lot of content from us, I have to give them a big pat on the back because their social team is very in tune with what's necessary, and they got Elaine, what's her name? Her real name, the woman who played Meredith Blake in The Parent Trap.
Elaine Hendricks.
And you know what I love about her is like she really leans into that character. Like she knows that was the highlight of her career, and she's not gonna like be ashamed of it. Like she leans into it. She commented on my Instagram when I posted a picture of Meredith Blake.
Oh my God, I love her.
I love her. And so they did a really cute video of her like pretending to be Meredith Blake, and honestly, like as much as I think that E! is annoying, they really did a good job.
No, and you like as long as they're doing good work and stealing our good work, it's okay. But the second they just start relying on us, it's not cool.
What do you think? People think that there's like this Illuminati something around the fact that everyone's getting engaged in 5 minutes these days.
Okay, people think that they're all related, and I actually don't think that they're all related unless everyone saw how much attention it brought to Ariana and Pete and they want to be in that boat. But I do think
Ariana and Pete are so unique.
I think Ariana and Pete are crazy in love. I think they're like just such passionate people, and they love each other, and like they just want to spend every minute together going to Whole Foods wearing high ponies and thigh highs in the winter, in the summer.
Did you see her grocery shopping with Machine Gun Kelly?
No.
Do you know who Machine Gun Kelly is?
I know who he is, like, yeah, I do.
Can I tell you about Machine Gun Kelly?
Sure.
So when I was in college, I was interning at a company, and they did this thing where they would bring in like celebrities every now and then. It was like low-level celebrities. And Machine Gun Kelly came once, and like my job was like to run the Twitter for this fake company, and Machine Gun Kelly, like his fans, like I'd never seen people, like nobody ever spoke about our show, but these Machine Gun Kelly fans like were insane, so crazy. So he comes, literally people from all around the world came, like nobody ever came to the show. They used to have to pay people to sit in the audience, but now they, like literally real people were coming, his real fans.
It took me up until now to figure out what internship you're talking about.
They were very eclectic, like they had lip rings and spiked hair and tattoos, and it's an interview, the show, so they would like sit and chat like this. He got up, tore his shirt off, was screaming in the audience, and I'm like, who is this guy? Then he's on that song with Camila Cabello, which is the best song ever, a great way to launch her solo career. Then he's in a movie.
What movie?
With Pete Davidson. That's why they were together shopping at Whole Foods.
Oh.
It's too much for me. And I know that the trajectory of Machine Gun Kelly's career is not really about me, but somehow I feel like it was meant to be.
No, when you're there in the beginning, it's about you.
Yeah. No,
you discovered him.
From the Genesis. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think Ariana and Pete are one thing. They're crazy in love, and they just want to like be together.
Same.
I think Haley and Justin is another thing. I think that they really, and like, I know my theory was kind of a joke, but I really don't think that it is. I think that they have both become really religious, and like, even though, yes, there's a lot of things that go on in Hollywood, and it's not all, the way that we picture it, but I think that their religion has really brought them together, and they want to be man and wife.
Yeah, the blinds suggest otherwise, but I
think they each have kind of different intentions, but I think at the core of it, like, that's really what it is, because like their religion places so much emphasis on marriage.
Yeah, I don't know. They're confusing.
No, I'm choosing to see the good. And then with Nick and Priyanka, I think this is like classic PR thirsty move.
Right.
No one's talking about us. The only problem with this is that the two of them make no sense together. If it were
the only thing also is that they're just started dating. So if they wanted to make this believable, they wouldn't have to get married. They wouldn't have to get engaged for another year. Like the fact that it's going so fast makes me question if it's really a setup. Do you know what I mean? Because if it was a setup, they would want it to be believable. Normal people, they're spotted once and then a couple times, then a year later maybe they get engaged. Like this doesn't make sense.
I think it's because they got together and still people don't believe it, and so their PR move like isn't working. It's not sticking the way that they wanted.
Right.
They think that getting engaged will really turn the tide on this one, but I'm not buying it.
No. This is my credit card, and I'm not buying it.
If they get married, I'll stand down.
If they get married, have 6 kids, and are married till the day they die in 60 years, I will still not believe that they ever had affection for each other. If they have a happy, long marriage with grandchildren and a house with a white picket fence, I still won't believe that they are truly in love. They could literally, there's nothing they could do to make me believe that this is real.
They could come on the toast.
And explain themselves. Fair.
Because we've had a lot of changes of hearts once people have come on the show.
Leanne Lockett is a perfect example of your heart can really change. Like, just because you think you know someone, you don't.
You do not.
Leanne Lockett, who is the villain on The Real Housewives of Dallas, came on our show. And honestly, the day before I couldn't sleep, I was so afraid. She's really scary. They're just...
Also, I think the number one... Like, I was excited for Leanne Lockett no matter what, but I think I really changed my heart and my mind on Margaret Josephs when she came on the show.
Oh, my God.
Because up until that point, I was so Team Siggy. Like, I couldn't even fathom.
But we were brainwashed because Siggy had just come on our show, and we were
fabulous.
Like... Yeah. And honestly, I like them both.
I like them both.
But I really hated Margaret when I met her, and I was like, wow. When she came on the show, she's so lovely, so normal, so down to earth, and then she's been nothing but absolutely angelic towards us.
And I love her so much.
Me too.
And that's the power of the toast, you guys.
No, it's really true. Just when you talk to someone, that's why I always say, like, people who hate me, I understand. I'm very annoying. Like, I do not disagree with anyone who hates me. But someone who hates me, if they were to have lunch with me, they would love me.
Totally.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay, next up, Alex Trebek signals that he's retiring from Jeopardy in 2020.
It's time.
It's an end of an era, you guys. Who do you think is going to take over? It's probably going to be Ryan Seacrest,
No,
Chris
I know
Harrison,
who
or
it's going to
Andy
be, and, like, I'm not down. It's going to be Scott Rogowski.
Shut up.
Quizzy Trebek, remember?
Oh my
I know,
God.
like, he's not really relevant anymore, but
but that's it.
That's it, yeah. If Jeopardy is in tune with what's necessary, and in moving Jeopardy to the 21st century, they're gonna have to hire Scott Rogowski, which is upsetting because I despise him, and he came on our show and was really rude to us.
However, this isn't happening until 2020, so maybe,
He'll
there'll be another quiz.
Yeah.
Quizzy Trebek.
Quizzy McGuire.
Quiz Daddy General.
Right. And, like, I'd be happy for Jeopardy because that means, like, their social team and their management team, like, they know what's up and they know what's good, but I'd just be annoyed because when people, they get successful, like, it's really interesting to see, like, how they treat others,
Yeah.
Like, look at us. We have the #1 morning show in the whole world, and look how grounded we are.
But I don't think the problem is, I don't even think he was trying to be mean. I think he was just, like, naturally
like
condescending.
a dick, like, towards girls. Do you know what I mean?
He just didn't take us seriously, and it's like, why?
And he wouldn't have said that to us if we were boys. That is my favorite thing to say these days. Like, would you
I
say
know.
that to me if I were a man?
Yes.
Because I had an
The
experience.
headphones.
Okay, let me explain myself.
Okay, because
Let me explain myself.
The world is really torn on this one, and I have to be honest.
No, but I'm understanding. Let me speak.
Okay.
I was in the airport, Delta Sky Lounge, which is a very prestigious club. I don't know if you guys can get it. And I was very busy. I was downloading my episodes of Southern Charm, and it downloads so fucking slow before the plane, and you got to download it. So I'm downloading, and then Margot calls me, my sister, who I haven't seen in 2 months and is abroad in the Middle East.
Okay, but to everyone in the Sky Lounge, they don't know that.
It's just a person.
You're just a girl on your phone.
So my headphones are, like, tangled up in my bag, and I know Margot just had to ask me a question, so I lowered the volume really low, and I'm just talking to her quickly. And I know that it's annoying that I don't have headphones in, but, like, give me a break. The guy sitting 7 or 8 feet away from me, he goes, "Excuse me," and I thought he was gonna be like, "Are you a girl with no job?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And he was like, "Excuse me." I was like, "Yes." An autograph? He's like, "Can you put headphones in?" I was just like, I was so just, like, not expecting that. And I was like, Oh, sure, sure. So then I go to Margot. I'm like, Margot, I'm being yelled at in the Sky Lounge. I have to go. And I said it really loud, so I wanted him to hear me. And let me set the record straight. I'm not, what's the right word? I'm not naive. Like, I know that it's really annoying of me. And I'm not discrediting that. And if I saw someone else doing it, I'd be like, wow, that person's annoying. But I would never be like, excuse me, can you put in headphones? Like, that's such a rude thing. And I know that if I was like an older man, this old man would not have said anything to me. Then, plot twist.
If he wasn't an old man, he wouldn't have said anything to you either.
No, but if I was a fellow old man.
No, but if he was like an old woman or a young girl, like he wouldn't have the balls to say something
No,
like that.
of course not. But I don't think he would feel like he could talk down to me if I was like his gender or
His
age.
peer.
Yeah. I just felt like he totally thought he was above me, and I was like, this fucking guy. And I did a whole Instagram story thing about him, and I get on the plane, he's sitting literally right next to me. And I didn't even think we were on the same flight, because I left the Sky Lounge like while we were boarding like a normal person, and he was like the last person on board.
Oh,
that's how you know he's a dick.
No, that's also like a cocky man thing to do.
Right. Like,
of course there's going to be space for me and my stuff.
I'm the first person. Like,
because you're so worried because you're a woman that it's the imposter complex that you won't have overhead bin space.
And I just think the patriarchy is going to take my overhead bin space,
and he'll make space because the patriarchy will work in his favor.
So that's just like, that was really upsetting. And people are like, you're an ass. Like, I know it was annoying of me. I'm not discrediting that. I understand. But if I was with another person having a conversation, we would have been way louder than me and my phone. Just a thought.
That's true.
Just a thought.
Okay. I could see. But I also could see how, like, you're
It's annoying.
FaceTiming in the Sky Lounge, put in headphones.
Completely. But you don't know my story. Like, this could have been important.
Well, he could actually hear your conversation. And
My sister
what was
could
the
have been
question?
going into labor. I don't even remember. It was so early. It was literally 6 a.m.
Okay.
But it was like 3 o'clock in the Middle East, which is why I had to take the call.
I understand. Well, Alex Trebek is retiring in 2020, and you know what? I want to be up for the role.
I would like to be considered. Okay, here.
Or for the
Jackie,
role.
let's audition.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, so I'll be a contestant, you be Alex Trebek.
Okay.
And let's say the category, okay, so I'll say.
I'll make
so
something up.
Alex, I'll take literary fictional characters for 200, please.
No, you will take famous couples throughout history for 200.
Alex,
Wait, hold on. Let me start from the beginning. Welcome back to Wheel of Fortune. I am your
Wheel
host.
of Fortune.
Isn't that the show?
Jeopardy. I could go on Wheel of Fortune and win.
Okay.
That's how you know it's
Anyone
different.
could. Oh,
Yeah,
my
it's
God.
like-
Did I talk about Beat Shazam yet? Because
No.
we have to go
Okay.
on. Welcome back to Jeopardy. I am your host, Jackie Trebek. Welcome, Claudia.
Thank you, Jackie. I'm very excited to be here. I'm a teacher from Iowa, and my students, they're back home watching me. They're really excited.
Well, hello, students. So, Claudia, pick your category.
I will take famous couples throughout history for 200, please.
Great choice. This famous couple, its name rhymes with grossy.
Josie and Guy. Guy.
Guys? Thank you, Claudia.
No, you'd be good at it.
I would be.
You'd have to wear that blazer every day.
I'd be happy to. And
Yeah.
I would wear my grandma's shoes.
Yeah.
I think I'd actually be really good.
Jeopardy, it's like makes me feel so stupid. I never know any answers. Like on a good show, I might know one.
We need to play like Teen Jeopardy.
Yeah, like pop culture Jeopardy.
We
They
would
should really
crush-
have that.
They should have reality TV Jeopardy. I would win $1 million.
Me too. Or I would host it and also make $1 million. Just have to work a little bit harder for it.
Totally. Now I'm really getting Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune confused because then we don't need a Vanna White.
Because they go on one after each other. It's 7 o'clock Jeopardy, 7:30 Wheel of Fortune, 8 o'clock Bachelor.
But Wheel of Fortune is just luck. Like you don't have to really have smarts.
It's luck, but it's also you have to be good at this game. But it's not a smarts thing. It's just like being good at filling in the blanks.
Which doesn't require much smarts.
No, but if you do a lot of crossword puzzles, like it should be fine.
Oh, that's true.
I do. By the way, I've been traveling so much, and I always buy Us Weekly and People because they have good pictures and they also have crossword puzzles. And I was on the plane yesterday doing an Us Weekly, and I'm like, damn, this one sounds familiar. Literally, because I've been traveling so much in the same week, I got the same magazine twice. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Because I knew that I didn't know a dove.
You should just get
What sound do doves make?
None.
So I was like, how do I know this? It was coo.
How do you know that?
C-O-O.
Oh, because
I already did the crossword puzzle.
Oh my God, that's what it took
I'm like,
you?
that's so weird. How do I know that?
You should get one of those little crossword puzzle books.
They don't make those for celebrity ones. They just make it for like real ones. And I cannot do like
The New York
another
Times.
red for, like
Totally.
1996 play that won the Tony,
Totally. Okay, next up, inside Leah Michelle's epic and beautiful engagement party with Zandy Reich. Cute.
Yeah, she looked really pretty. It was thrown by Joanna Garcia Swisher. They're best friends.
I love her so much. So Leah Michele is feeling the love all around her. Over the weekend, the Glee star and singer received an unforgettable engagement party where she was able to celebrate with friends, family, and fiancé, Zandy Reich. The outpouring of love from our friends and family who showed up for us today and threw us the most epic and beautiful engagement party we could have ever asked for was truly so incredible, Leah shared on Instagram stories. Z and I love you all and are forever grateful. Close friends Stephanie Levinson and Joanna Garcia Swisher helped execute the party that featured Ashley Tisdale, Hilary Duff, Jamie Lynn Sigler, Becca Tobin, Billy Lord, Emma Roberts, and Evan Peters in attendance. Wow, what a crew.
Yeah, it's just so interesting when you think of Lea Michele's
Career
in a nutshell, because like she's made it so far, but she's really not that famous or successful. And like just in terms of like financials, like she's been on a couple really good hit TV shows that had important implications for pop culture. Like one was they were both Ryan Murphy, but like one was Glee, and that was just like will be one of the most important shows
Iconic.
of our generation. And then the other was
Scream
Queens, which wasn't as popular, but it was a Ryan Murphy one, so it had like a lot of like glamour to it, and it was a star-studded cast.
Right. So that's where Emma Roberts and Billy Lord come in.
Right. And I'm surprised Ariana Grande wasn't invited.
Well, I mean, maybe she was just busy. But she was also really on it for one episode.
And there was a lot of talk about like the divas just not clashing well.
And you know what? I can understand that.
That was like Naya Rivera and Lea Michele. They did not get along.
But that I don't understand, because they both came into the show as nobodies, and you should be grateful to be on this set. But like,
totally,
Lea Michele and Ariana Grande are both big personalities. Like, I can understand.
It must be awkward though when you both start out as nobodies and like someone on the show like just takes off so much more than the other. Like I feel like at some point it's going to become really awkward between Lily Reinhart and Cami Mendes, because they're like best friends because they both started out as like equals.
That I agree, but I don't agree on Naya Rivera and Lea Michele. Lea Michele had a way bigger part.
Oh, of course, no. I mean, Naya Rivera was out of control for even thinking she was even close.
Right. She just like happened to be a likable character on the show, but I don't think she was intended to be that likable.
No, me neither. And I think that they faded people out, and they also like kept people relevant, who I think the audience
they did the most that they could for her.
Yeah, I think she had in the first season she literally didn't say anything, but I think people really started to like her the more that she spoke, so they gave her like a full role. Like she was in New York.
Right.
When they all moved to New York. So I think she thought that she was just as good as Lea Michele and just as big.
And honestly, like, if you didn't want to ruin your career, you shouldn't have commented mean things on Kim's Instagram.
Right. Honestly, like, your career literally...
That was it.
That was it. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're a mom. Congrats, so are you. By the way, literally, she put up a sexy picture the other day, and I was about to comment. I'm sorry. Like, literally exactly what she wrote. But I just didn't feel like starting drama, you know?
Totally. Sometimes it's just... It's
better.
not the time or place.
Yes.
Anyways, I'm happy for these two. And
Me too.
I like their little Hollywood crew.
Me too. And I really, truly, genuinely, in my soul, only want good things for Lea Michele.
I know you do.
Like, I think she deserves the world.
And you know what? I feel like she's doing okay.
She is. And you know what? In that magazine that I bought twice, they did a big, people did a really good, like, in-depth article with Corey Monteith's mom. And she spoke really highly of Liam. And it was, like, such a sad article because, like, it was really heartbreaking, and that she lives in like this small town, and that Corey like would send her money all the time, and his soul was too good for like the treachery that is Hollywood, which is so true.
When Steven was here, we talked about that article, and there was just so much in there, and it was all so sad.
And you could tell he really comes from like a normal, grounded family, and it was like one of the saddest articles I'd ever read.
I agree. I hope that they stay in touch. That's just like how Michelle Williams just got married, and Heath Ledger's parents are so
they were really happy for her. Yeah.
And I never thought I would love Michelle Williams so much.
Neither.
But first of all,
The Greatest Showman.
Second of all, Shutter Island. She's the wife.
Oh my God. I really need to rewatch the movie, but yes,
she is. And I will
She's
never
an
get
amazing
over
actress.
Shutter Island and the role that it has played on the show, because it is probably like the most highbrow thing we've ever talked about.
Besides Elon Musk.
It's really just spurred so much intellectual
Dialogue.
Conversation. Right. And I feel like The Toast has really been doing that a lot recently.
Yeah, and it's really good for our souls.
I agree. And that's actually a great segue into our fourth story. Speaking of goodness for your souls, Goodwill will launch a trendy boutique to court thrifty millennials. The resale market is booming. In April, reports surfaced that the industry would swell by 2022 and hit an estimated $41 billion. Resale shopping may even outrun traditional retail, and Goodwill wants in on the success. What's the strategy? Millennials' love of thrifting. So Goodwill is launching a new boutique concept to do just that, partnering with YouTube influencers and students at FIT. It's not a bad idea, and it's not. They should be partnering with us, but okay. According to ThreadUp's resale report, millennials shop secondhand more than any other generation. That's because firsthand is so ugly these days that we have to go to the archives for cute clothes.
Totally.
Attracting younger customers is not only a major priority, it's a necessity. The company's average customer is roughly 45 years old, says Katie Gall-Stig, president and CEO of Goodwill Industries of Greater New York and Northern Jersey. But to achieve that, Gall-Stig added company execs had to make some real changes. The traditional secondhand shopper at a Goodwill store is skewing older, so it's time for us to disrupt that. This is interesting.
It is, but you know, I have such mixed feelings because like, as much as I think like I love a company that can evolve. I like 6 months ago cleaned out my closet right before we went on a trip. I forget where.
It was in December.
It was in December, yeah. So I was like,
You went to Florida for 5 years.
Oh, right. Oh my God, I went forever. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I had 8 trash bags full of clothes that like I wanted to donate. So obviously, when you think donate, you think Goodwill.
Right.
So I wanted to obviously like be thirsty for the fact that I was doing a good deed and like put it on my Instagram story. And I got like so many messages about how corrupt Goodwill is, and that like people who work there go through the clothes and take stuff, like take the good stuff from people who actually need it and like leave the dirty t-shirts or the dirty jeans. And I was like, holy shit. And so like now I've been like when I move, I'm gonna clean out again and I'm gonna go to another organization. So I'm like, I'm caught in between a rock and a hard place, you know?
I agree. No good deed, truly.
Truly.
But here's my thing. Like, I feel like this is, what's her name? Katie Gallstig is in tune with what's necessary. The resale market is huge.
Yeah.
And this sounds like a great idea, but like, it goes against what Goodwill stands for. Like,
but I think what the point is that it might be a little bit more high end, so they'll make more money and then reinvest in Goodwill and hire more people to steal their stuff.
right, but I don't think that they need that. Like, she should start her own resale company if she has this vision. But like Goodwill, it's like it's just Goodwill. Like,
But is this gonna be high end stuff?
Like, I think it's just gonna look more like boutique-y when you go in.
Boutique-y?
Boutique-y. I say
You do?
I say boutique, but boutique-y. I don't know.
Whatever.
It's just like when you go in, you won't be sifting through trash bags. Like,
Right.
it'll
But
be more of an experience.
You don't sift through
And
trash bags at Goodwill. They hang it up.
They hang it up, but it's not like you
No,
don't
it's not
feel good
glamorous.
about going
Yeah, yeah,
into
no, you
Goodwill
don't.
and shopping. This will be more of a shopping experience, which is cute, but like I feel it takes away from what Goodwill is about.
Right. I don't know. I feel like I'm more loyal to the Salvation Army
Are you?
because I've had such positive experiences
Me
there, both
too.
donating and buying stuff.
Both donating and shopping. I've got some really good
Me
items.
too. And like my beloved Campbell's boxers that are no longer with us. Remember those?
Yes.
Came from there, and I just love the Salvation Army. I think it's a great. I feel like they really are like a wholesome organization.
So you think, but just wait till a toaster comments.
Or wait till I
something.
get a blind about it, you know?
Right. Anyways, I'm going to keep up with this story because I find it to be very interesting, and I look forward to seeing what they do, and I hope that they hired more
Millennials.
moral people.
Yeah. No, I love when a company is in tune with what's necessary. So like if this works for them, good.
It's very in tune with what's necessary, so I'm here for it. Fifth and final story, Nikki Bella officially cancels wedding to John Cena again. Quote, I've ruined everyone's fairy tale. Okay, I watched...
These two are out of control.
These two are out of control, and I thought so until I watched Toto Bellas last night.
Okay.
And I completely...
It was the season finale.
It was the season finale. And I understand so much of why everything happened and why Nikki Bella feels the way that she does.
Do you believe that it was a PR setup for their show?
I do not.
Okay.
I feel like, okay, so this is what happened. They broke up, and then they got back together because John said that he wanted kids. And
Right.
she thought that was going to change everything. So they got back together.
So wait, when he went on the Today Show and was like
That
whining
was
about
during
her,
the first breakup.
But I'm saying, was that filmed? Like
No,
in what time is the season finale?
the
How long
season
ago?
finale is after Today Show.
Okay.
Yeah, that was filmed.
Oh, so they were filming the whole thing.
They were filming the whole thing.
Interesting.
This season finale must be from like a month ago or
Right.
2 months ago. Because also, it's been very quiet recently because I feel like they wanted to put it out this way.
Yeah.
And no one knew if they were together or not. And then she said on a live stream that like he's
They
in
weren't.
China.
Yeah.
So they got back together after he said that he wanted kids. And I think she thought that would like fix everything because it fixed a lot of things. Then she went on her bachelorette to Paris, which looked les mis. And
Oh,
she was
really?
miserable. And the whole thing was miserable. It was like fake Kim Kardashian bachelorette party, except it was Ms. And she like was in terrible mood. And I guess she was like also unhappy during her engagement party. She's doing all this planning for the wedding by herself with Brie. John's not there for any of it. And it's just indicative of what their life is going to be
Right.
together. And I think she was just like really unhappy like in herself and as a person. And she said she was like depressed while also having like, there's a lot. She was like, I felt so much pressure. Like, I'm Wonder Woman and he's Superman, and like we came together, and everyone
Right.
is just like wants. It's a fairy tale.
It's like prom king and queen.
And honestly,
it's
I
the
feel
quarterback
like,
and the cheerleader.
I felt like I perpetuated that.
Me
I
too.
came here and sat on this show that you guys need to get back together, and like she felt that pressure.
Oh,
She
that's
heard our
really
cries.
sad.
So like I think she was really trying to make it work, and she doesn't. She thinks that John is a great man, and like she could see them getting back together. But I think like she's a little sad in herself right now, and she needs to work on herself because
Right.
for the past 6 years, it's been the John Cena show,
Totally.
and it has been. And Brie said it best. She was like, he's been so focused on making an amazing career for himself, which he has, and in that, like, he lost the woman of his dreams.
Totally. That is so
Like,
sad.
since they got engaged a year ago, they spent 30 days together, like, in their home. That's what she said last time, yeah. So I can understand why it's not all perfect.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so tragic.
And imagine, like, how bad it has to be, how sad you have to be to break up with John Cena.
Right, like how
after you
yeah.
spent 6 years, he said he wasn't going to marry you. That was okay. He's going to marry you, and he's the one who really wants to get married. And Bree's husband asked Nikki. She was Brian Danielson. He was like, "Why can't you guys just postpone the wedding? Like, what's the big deal?" And she was like, "John doesn't see it that way. Like, he's very like we're here or we're there. Like,
honestly,
I need
he
decisions."
seems like a little bit of a nut job.
I think that he is a nut job, but after 6 years like of being with a nut job, you
understand
you conform to the nut job lifestyle,
right?
And it is John Cena, so I can understand why she would like make exceptions for him.
Yeah,
but I think she's really just coming to her own.
And I think when she was younger, she had the same complex that we do, like Wonder Woman, Superman. Like, let's make it work. We could be the queen and king of WWE. And so that's what really motivated her. And then they like fell in love, and like she couldn't imagine life without him. And then all the pressure we put on her. Like, I feel bad. I'm really sorry.
I feel bad. I'm really sorry. She's in the car and she's talking about how she needs to be alone, but then she's like, "But I love him so much and I miss him already." Like the day after she comes home, she's literally like living at her sister's house, sleeping on a pull-out couch.
Bree is a really good sister.
So like that's how bad it has to be that she'd rather stay at Bree's house on a pull-out couch than in her mansion with John Cena.
But why doesn't Bree have a second bedroom?
I think the second bedroom is a pull-out couch because like why does she need the bed?
No, but Bree is like a really good sister because honestly, it's like the Nikki show, like life.
It is, but
it always was.
Well, it's really crazy because it's so crazy how fortunes change. Like for the past 3 years, like Nikki has been on top of the world dating John Cena. Like she's been like in the best shape of her life, and like Bree, on the other hand,
got pregnant.
Like her husband is seriously injured. She's pregnant, and like things have slowed down for her. But now it's like in the season finale, her husband went back to WrestleMania and he won, and he's like at the top of WWE again when Nikki's feeling so terrible and her engagement's over. But they're really so there for each other, and it goes back to what we said last week about family.
Yes.
Like it's these two, and what's so interesting is everywhere they go, every city that they stop in, like they're like, we're here for this, that, and the other thing, and then they go out to dinner, and their whole family is there.
Oh, wow.
Like the mom, the brother. They went to Paris. The mom for a bachelorette party, and the mom and the brother are just there. Like for support. They went to New Orleans for WrestleMania. The mom and the brother are there. When Bree and Brian moved to Phoenix, I think it was, the family lived there too, and now they're all in San Diego, and the family's there too. So they're really
that's so interesting because I feel like it definitely has to be hard to be a twin, and you're both like famous, and you both have a show, and you both have Instagrams. Like, I feel like there definitely has to be some element of like competition because twins are tough. It's like a tough dynamic. I feel like you're always being compared to one another. So in an effort to like make yourself feel more unique, you become competitive. And I've always admired the fact that they really are so there for each other. Like sometimes it's all about Brie, and most of the time it's all about Nikki. But that's so interesting about their family. I didn't know that.
No, they have a really nice dynamic. And on the one hand, you would think they'd be competitive, but on the other hand, they're like each doing exactly what they want to do. Like Brie has an amazing husband and like an amazing family, and like I feel like she's really embrace this next stage in her life. And like Nikki is at the top of her game. Like she could go back and compete whenever she wants. And like I feel like she wants that. So I feel like they actually really complement each other. And it's very, very nice.
I just think Total Divas and Total Bellas was a really inspired choice by E.
Especially
in terms of original programming.
I never watched Total Divas, but now I'm like all in on Total Bellas. And I have to be honest, I think a lot of it had to do with John Cena.
No, I watched.
And a lot of that had to do with Trainwreck. And you could be my CrossFit queen.
I watched
rule the CrossFit world.
Total Divas. Someone got married. Natalia.
Okay.
And I like was crying, and it was like the best episode ever.
Oh
and then
my God.
and they literally couldn't stop fighting, and I think they ended up getting divorced. And that's when I started watching.
Oh my! I cried at last night's episode. Now that I think about it, and it was so cute. So when Brian, they talk about it, I didn't ever watch, so I didn't know how bad his injury was. But they have all the footage, so they're showing us the montage of how he worked so hard to get back to where he is, and he goes to WrestleMania and he fights, he wins, and he's already so happy. And then Brie comes and shows him a picture of their daughter watching him on TV, and he started crying, and I had a tear.
Oh my God! Now I need to watch. I love crying at reality
TV. And
TV.
I really, really like the show. And I'm happy for E mostly.
Me too. They needed it. Before we wrap for the day, let's quickly talk about Southern Charm.
Right.
Because we had a second part of the reunion, or third.
Second
There's
and final.
no third.
There's no third.
I thought this season could have used a third.
But apparently it didn't, because even after the second, and we were just saying, like, yes, the second was intense, and Ashley, and she's so crazy, and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I found the first episode to be more interesting of the reunion because the second was all obvious. Like, clearly she's insane. Catherine is justified. Like, thank you, Lord. But, like, the first episode between the nuances of the characters was more interesting.
Yeah, no, I thought the first episode was good. I thought the second episode, like, I didn't really get as much as I wanted. Like, I really wanted more, like, escalation. Like, and I didn't want Catherine to do it, but this is what I was saying to you. Like, I really want to join the cast just for one season because I would like to physically, like, hurt Ashley on Catherine's behalf. But if Catherine does it, like, the judge will see and, like, she's justified in her restraint, but what do I have to be restrained for? Like,
no, totally.
Everyone hates me already. I want to beat the shit out of her.
But
like,
you would break her in half.
In half. I would just sit on her.
She's so small and frail.
She's so small and frail. Like when they kept cutting to her and her makeup artist, like that poor girl, like that was just like tragique.
And it really bugged me how she kind of got off the hook when they're like, oh, she's manipulated by Thomas, she's brainwashed. Okay, this might sound mean of me.
I know what you're about to say, and it's not mean.
She's 31 years old. She's lived. She chose to move to Charleston. You don't choose to move and stay there when Thomas literally wants to get rid of you, and you're the one who's brainwashed. Like,
right, she pursued
she's
him.
not, like, when Catherine met Thomas, she was a child. She was so naive and malleable.
He took advantage.
And he took advantage of her, and it took her so long to get out of that cycle. Like, she came to Charleston a grown-ass woman, a nurse, like,
seeking out this.
So I am not going to accept the fact that she's brainwashed unless she literally, like, sat down and was like, please brainwash me.
No, but it took,
and in which case, she still chose to be brainwashed because she's a grown woman.
No, but it took all these people 6 years to understand that Catherine was literally manipulated and brainwashed by Thomas. Ashley, who's a grown woman, has been in it for, 6 months, and everyone's like, she's brainwashed.
Has seen the show,
right,
and is technically a medical professional.
Yeah.
So I'm not buying it.
That's the scariest part of all of this.
And Thomas not being there was really
unfair.
Frustrating.
Because, yes, I understand, like, he should be fired because he's a sexual assaulter, but he also has done some terrible things, and he should be held accountable.
And he sat at 6 or 7 reunions now while everyone was going in on Catherine, and he never felt that brunt.
Right.
And he deserves to be tried in the Bravo court.
Which is the most accountable court.
Right, like, yeah, court is bad, but, the punishment, you serve your time. You do the crime, you serve your time. But he deserves to know how it feels to have everyone against him, including Andy, including Cameron, including Shep, all these people who were his friends.
And he was being like Cheddar. It was so funny.
He was, but he needed to be. Like,
yeah,
someone needed to be biased because this situation is insane.
Right, when it's like petty girl drama, I feel like it's easy for Andy to like stay out of it and just be like a true mediator. But these are like moral issues, and kids are involved, and like the legal system's involved. Like Andy at some point like has to step in,
I agree.
And he does a good job of knowing when that is.
But I just felt like there's not, like, the reunion wasn't surprising to me.
No, me neither.
Nothing was said that was surprising. Ashley's a psycho, but that wasn't surprising. Mm-hmm. And I'm just glad that things are working out this way for Catherine. It makes me really excited for next season because finally it's an even playing field.
Yeah. And I can't believe Catherine and Shep have hooked up.
And I really ship them.
Me too. I think they're really cute together. I think they have something, like, you could tell.
I feel like she might be the girl for him. Like, she's so strong.
Yeah.
She's not going to take his shit. Like,
yeah,
she doesn't take Thomas's shit.
Right.
And Shep's shit is way less than Thomas's shit.
Honestly, I find Austin to be so hot.
No, same. And, like, what's so crazy to me is that on television, like, Austin and Chelsea look like star-crossed lovers, like they're meant to be together, and one day that they will be. But after watching this reunion, there's nothing between them. And honestly, the things that she said about him, like him being cheap, like there's no going back from that.
I can't believe she said that he didn't pay for like a bunch of meals. And what she said is like, she was being so shady. She was just like, I didn't grow up the way that you did, and like I literally can't relate to someone who doesn't like want to work.
I totally,
or have to work.
When Andy was like, is there any ambition in this group whatsoever? And Naomi was like, there's ambition not to work.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. And what's not being said is that they're like reality stars now, but like for a guy, especially in like an old school traditional town like Charleston, like to not have a real job, like I totally get what she's saying. And it's not like he's like trying, like he's just like a weenie.
No, totally. And this isn't gonna go on forever. And like you need to start something now so that you have it when this goes away, because eventually, like all good things, it
come to
will.
an end.
I really, really hope that he goes forward with this beer. I think it's the best idea I've ever heard. When I was watching him all season, like he's obsessed with beer, like a beer aficionado. It would be like you starting a Chipwich line.
Yeah, and Andy
like,
said it was really good.
He wakes up every day and does beer samplers. He doesn't even like start chugging
right.
cans of beer. So, and he used to work in the beer industry, so
right.
this should be a breeze for him.
Yeah.
Next season, if he's not shilling his beer,
yeah.
it's a lost cause.
The logo was cute too on the cup.
The whole thing is really, it has the makings for success. And I don't drink beer, but I would trust Austin's beer.
That's all we have for you. We're about to go record, a podcast episode with Mercedes Javid. I'm very excited. This is the Morning Toast, the Millennial Morning Show, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Make sure you watch. We live stream on Facebook and YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and like us on Facebook, both at The Morning Toast. Our Instagram is lit as fuck. Lots of drama always going down at The Morning Toast.
Always.
Also on Twitter, The Morning Toast. Less drama, but still premium content. If you're not a member yet of our Facebook group, which I think we're like pretty much... We're letting in select people because it's really big. It's at 30,000 people, and this is like for our real hardcore listeners, just to like chat about.
And we have so many requests. Like
I know.
This isn't the time.
Yeah, but if you want to just try and get in line, the Morning Toasters, it's lit. That's it, everyone. Have an amazing Monday. I hope this helped cure a little bit of your Monday blues. We have a very busy day, so we have to go.
We have to go, but we'll be back tomorrow with Daniel Eichholtz from Southern Charm Savannah.
Yes,
Make sure you watch tonight.
Again.
Oh my God,
That
he's
was
so
so
cute.
cute.
I'm so excited.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.